Yeah, 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 yeah. And I heard him say, nothing's ever promised tomorrow today. From the
shy like Timothy Hardaway. What's good? Casey's Corner is back, man, and I'm not even gonna get too much into the intros too much because I got a pretty serious discussion I want to have with my guys. I got my man AceBk Slim, my boy Bingy the Notty General, on the show with me today, man. And the topic we're gonna have today is about the hot button topic that's going on around the sports world and around the world really right now, and that's the use of the word nigga. And before I start, I want to say, if anybody's listening to this and you don't want to hear certain language or anything else like that, or you got kids in the car, just wait until later till the kids are gone. Viewer discretion advised on this language, because there's going to be some cursing. There's going to be definitely lots of use of the word nigga, because it needs to be said. And we're going to talk about it. So
if you're easily offended,
change the station.
Podcast off.
Turn your fuck. Oh goodness. Well, okay. Well, look, folks. This is why I wanted to have this discussion. That's, like I said, it's a hot button topic right now, and the reason I wanted to have it with myself and with my two homies is because whenever I hear somebody talking about it, it's usually these older black guys or white guys, and I don't never see anybody our age and from our demographic and from our era speaking about the situation. I mean, I think we have a different outlook on the word, a different understanding, and not to condone it at all, but it just means something different. So before I get into what I think of it, we'll go one at a time. Just a quick synopsis. Ace, the word nigga.
I don't. I mean, we use it all the time amongst each other, and at one time we did. I think it's kind of fading out amongst black people. I mean, we found a couple alternative words to use, like dude or things like that. I think it's kind of fading out, but other people are kind of picking it up as common use, and I have no problem with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Notty G, your initial thoughts on the word nigga.
I mean, I think with the millennials, we haven't experienced that word like the older black folks. We just it takes on a different meaning. But if you've experienced racism at any level, it's kind of a sensitive word, sensitive topic. But with the new generation, like the younger millennials, they don't really have a sense of race or racial borders or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it kind of has a different meaning with the new generation. Right. But if you're an older black person, I could see where you would go, oh, I don't really like that. Because it comes from a different place.
Right. My outlook on it is, for the longest, and I think I speak for the two of you guys when I say this, I always understood the meaning and the origins of the word and the history behind it and, the ugliness behind it. Definitely understood that. And for the longest time, I tried not to say the word just to be honest with you, out of respect for the people before me who fought, so hard not to have anybody say that word to them. You know what I'm saying? Just out of respect for them. It didn't necessarily mean the same thing to me, but, I understood the struggle. So I would try not to say it. As I've gotten older, I mean, I say the word a lot more than I used to, but not a lot.
I'll tell you one thing. Like as you get older, I guess your sense of your filter kind of thins out. Yeah. And you just don't give a damn anymore. Like it is what it is.
Right. Now, there's a couple things I want to touch on, but that kind of got into it a little bit. Ace, we've had this conversation about the word bitch, And you know, all three of us, we try not to call women bitches or call a guy bitch or something. But this may sound crazy, but we're having that real talk right now. But there's in some situations when you're telling a story, when somebody does something, there's no other way to get the emphasis of what's going on in that moment across. So if I'm talking about somebody, you know, person X, and they did something that was real niggerish, there's no other word but to say, this nigga right here. Sometimes you feel like you can't say anything but this nigga right here. Now, it's not right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit up here and say that it's right, but when you're in the moment of something and it has become such a habit the way it is in certain cases, sometimes you feel like at least you can't get your point across any other way but then to say that.
Right. I think it's kind of an automatic thing that you know, the word like yo, this nigga right here. You know what I'm saying? It's just an automatic thing. It's just like you know, some people use the word faggot, and it's not meant to, you know, bash, you know, homosexuals or
right.
You know, people who like that lifestyle, but it's just kind of just a word.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's,
I guess it's all in the way that you use it, but I can see where, you know, they would be offended.
Right.
Also.
Right. And go ahead, Notty G.
And it's like, when you think about it, the way it's used, our generation even started. Like, if you listen to, like, the Last Poets and all of that, those old records, they kind of started that. Like, and we just took it and made it something else. Like,
right.
It doesn't even start with us. So, I mean, it's all on the generation and who's using it and, you know, how they're using it.
Right. Now, I've listened to certain discussions about it, and you know, and listen to, you know, older people talk about the situation. And one of the things that I get from it is, man, how do I say this? Not the word, and you know, like I said, I have mixed feelings. We're all humans. You know what I'm saying? We're all humans. We're gonna say it sometimes, even when we're trying not to. So that goes without saying in some cases. But one of the things that I hear is they're angry that the word, how do I say it, has gotten out, so to speak. So whereas, yes, as a black man or a black woman, we would say the word nigga. You know what I mean? It was usually in the right. Well, you're right. It was usually in the context of our living room. So if we're on the phone right now, we would say this nigga right here, this nigga and that. But now, all in the rap songs, you know what I'm saying? You got you know, other blacks saying it in the just anywhere. You know what I'm saying? In the presence of whites, and that makes it.
I think that's our. Yeah, as crazy as it sounds, I think that's our right to use the word how we see it.
Right. I mean, I agree with that, but now it's like, okay, I'll put it to you. I'll put it to you like this. This is how I look at it. So, women hate to be called bitch, right? But they call each other bitch so much. Huh?
If you put bad in front of it, it's different.
Right. That's how they. Well, but look.
In 1992, it was like the worst word that you could call a chick.
But look.
So now, the word bitch has been so you know, desensitized that it's almost a good thing.
Well,
like now,
but
the worst thing that you could call a bitch is the worst is the. The worst thing that you could call it a woman is the C word.
Yeah, the C word is, they ain't no coming back from that.
You call that chick a C word, and you know, you might get your head knocked off.
Even with the fact that I put the parental advisory on the beginning of this podcast, I still can't say the C word, even with the parental advisory. Just gonna let that go.
Exactly.
But look, I'll say this though. But now this is the other argument that I've heard from, you know, older blacks, and I understand it, and I want to get your guys' opinion on it. Just because it's become mainstream doesn't make it okay. It doesn't make it right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so because like if we going back to bitch, so women call each other bitches all the time. I'm a bad bitch. I'm that bitch. This and that. This and that. Now they kind of desensitize themselves to it. Now they'll get upset if we call them a bitch, and our first argument is, well, you guys use it to each other all the time. Like, why are you tripping? Now why is it that because we've used the word, I mean, you can use the exact same notion for the word nigga, and white people will be like, well, why are you getting upset? You guys call each other nigga all the time.
Yeah, but I put it like this. Like, if you ever dealt with any kind of form of racism, it leaves a nasty taste. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, after a while, you like I done been through too much shit for somebody to be calling me a nigga. Like, that's how, if you're like my age, like in your 30s, and you're the post-civil rights generation, then it has that nasty taste. But kids who are like 18, they never experienced that. So they're like, oh, okay, whatever. It's just a word, you're giving it power. So, I mean, like you said, if it's an older black dude, I can see where he says, nah, don't say that. That's not cool with me.
Right.
He's been through so much.
Right.
I guarantee you that older black dude, when he's talking to his friends, he drops that N-bomb. Oh, yeah, most definitely.
I think so.
When it comes from...
Go ahead.
When it comes from, if he's been through like a lot of racist situations, and a white person says it does something to him. It's psychological.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's how I see it.
Right. No, I definitely understand that. And the whole argument, one of the arguments that I've heard about not saying it no more is kind of what I talked about. Now, like they kind of equated Jason Whitlock. He's a writer for ESPN. He had a podcast and he's wrote about it a couple times, and he made the example that it's weird because we're justifying using the word nigga, and white people don't have any word like that for them. Like, white people are people, we're niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like it sounds like we're not people. You know what I'm saying? We're kind of looking at ourselves as less than people by even using the word or putting it out there. I mean, that's his argument. I see where he's coming from.
That's a retarded argument. I mean, the fact that white people can use for themselves is, come on. How stupid does that sound?
I mean, it's not. You're gonna have to listen to what he's saying when he says it. Maybe he puts it out there a little better than I can. It makes sense. It goes back to the whole, just like women calling themselves bitches. Like, yeah, it's just a word, but you know what I mean. Like, why would you?
I think it's in the context that you're using. I don't think any of us would go around and call a girl a bitch just because of the generation that we are and how we were raised. Like that, when we were growing up, like when you heard, like there was a few when Snoop dropped his album and Dr. Dre, and he was using the word bitch all over the place. Like that was a huge thing. Like it was, you could steamroll Snoop's albums,
right?
Because who you do. But and so we're already trained to know like you don't call a woman that,
right?
You know what I mean? And now that I'm a little bit older, like I just don't call women bitches. It's not my taste,
right?
But it goes back like it's all in the context that you use it and who you're talking to. But I just don't feel like the word nigga should be used by everybody. I think too many passes has got passed out.
Well, who's gotten passes?
And I don't know who's gotten passes.
I don't think anybody's gotten passes.
When you have Mr. Chow in Hangover 2 just using the word nigga just for laughs, I think Madonna used it on Twitter once. Cardi B flack for that. Yeah, she got flack for that.
Right. As she should.
And just use the word.
As she should.
But
But look, that's the whole point. They're saying, older people, you know what I'm saying, are kind of saying by us just so freely using the word, whether it's in conversation around others or in our music, that we're opening up the door for that. I mean, that's kind of what the argument. If you don't want that to happen, you gotta stop saying the word.
No, I mean, I put it like this: where were they when the last post was saying niggas are afraid of revolution? Was it Gil Scott or last post? Either one. Niggas are afraid of revolution. Now, it was used back then, but maybe it's because it was a statement. But I really, it's all on the person. Everybody knows Madonna. Like I don't really think Madonna's racist or anything like that. But just her saying something like, "Oh, so and so's my nigga," it just doesn't, it just doesn't fit right.
But exactly. And the question is, why is she so comfortable to say that? That's what's going on. Why does she feel like she can say that and that's okay?
My personal, this is my answer to it. Now, in America, I mean, racism is all over. I think you somewhere you're gonna have a couple white guys sitting down using the word. She's probably used it before around her friends, and they sit around and they use it. So if she uses it like that, how many times do you think she's used it before? I'm pretty sure that's not the first time she used it.
No, not at all. I mean, I'm sure a lot of them use it in a private sense. But the question is, why does she feel like to the world she can say that word and that's okay? I don't think she should feel that way. Now, we talked about being a hypocrite earlier, Ace. I'm definitely a hypocrite in this situation. We should say that without any punishment. If anybody else says that, it should be punishment. I've gotten to change my opinion on that as the years have gone by. I used to be like, well, how can I hold somebody accountable when we're not holding ourselves accountable? But no, we'll work on that as we go along the years. Like right now, no, you can't say that. If you're not black, you can't say it.
I don't think we have to work on that. I mean that's not something we created. We took it and turned it, we turned it on its ears and kind of made it a popular word. But you take Eminem for example, like he's gone his pretty much his whole career without even using the word.
Right.
And when a little mixtape or a little old freestyle that he did, had the word in, like he was kind of like embarrassed about it.
Right.
That it even got out.
Yeah.
But and Eminem is a rapper, like a lot of dudes co-sign him.
Right.
And give him a pass, but he would not dare use the word.
Right.
But like right now, I have respect for Eminem because, they found that. But if you look at his whole career, he hasn't used it, and to me, it's just corny. If you force it's like you're trying to be down. It's corny.
Right.
He just was himself. Right. He was himself, and he said, "Look, I'm going to be me, and I can fit into hip hop culture. I can be a part of this culture. I don't even have to use the word. It's not for me."
Right.
So this is what I do. I'm gonna continue to do what I do. When people use it, it's like twerking. You just want to do it because it's trendy. And it just comes off as corny after a while. Right. It's just they want to use it because it's the cool thing to do. It's popular. And like I said in the beginning, like amongst black people, I don't really hear the word too much nowadays. Like,
I don't know. These young kids though. These young kids use the nigga word like it's it and or but. Like they use it over the top. Like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
And I think because I'm getting older, like me hearing from younger kids that they just sound stupid. Even though I use the word also, but I don't use it as much.
Right.
Right.
So let me ask you guys this.
It's like constant. It's like, come on. Like, I mean, you could use something else.
Right.
You're trying too hard. Right. Why are you trying too hard to be? And then it sounds stupid.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you guys this. Do you think that it's a word that we should not use anymore as black people?
No. No. I mean, it's not. When you really think about it, I don't know. That's up for debate.
I think it's up for debate too. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know. Look, I'll put it to you like this. I don't know why. Why would you fight to continue to use the word?
It's not
Like, there's other things that we could be talking about. Like, there's other things that we could be fighting for, as opposed to be saying, no, we're gonna say nigga and nobody can tell us any different. Like, no. If anything, it sounds like a little bit of like reverse psychology. Like, yeah, let's make these dumb fools fight over using the word that we used to oppress them for hundreds of years.
Right. It is more issues we could address. The issue is not all black people, and the issue is going to issue till white people started comfortable enough to start using that openly again.
Well, I don't think anybody's saying that it's okay. I mean, I think it's consensus that if you're not black and you say it, it's a problem. Period. The question is, should it be a problem for us to be saying it?
No.
I don't know.
Bottom line, it's our word.
It's not our word. It's not. It was bestowed upon us, and it came from a negative place. Now you can make the argument that we turned it into a positive and all that other stuff, but the origin of it is negative.
When you think about it,
it's like what?
When you think about, it's kind of like the crucifixion. Like, people were getting crucified. It's the cross. It's bad to get crucified, but then it became symbolic. And then you had Pac turn it into what did he put it? It was an acronym he had for nigga. Never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. When he did that, it's like, whoa, okay, something different now. So, I mean, to me, I see it as like, I see it as almost like crucifixion.
You know what? That's a unbelievable analogy. And the whole Pac thing, I didn't even know about that Pac thing. That's phenomenal. See, this is why I wanted to have you guys. This is why I wanted to have you guys on here, because as much as I like Jason Whitlock or Michael Wilbon or anything, I can guarantee you they have no idea that Tupac made it an acronym and addressed the word, and you know what I'm saying.
So my niggas,
and it's like I said, this is why I wanted to have this discussion here, because not to say that the word is necessarily okay or anything, but and then you're talking about the players in the NFL and the NBA. They're of our generation. Whether or not people want to admit it or not, the word it is different nowadays. It's different. I'm not saying it's better. It's different, and we don't have the type of emotional, negatively emotional ties to it or experiences that our fathers or grandparents have. And I get that. And like I said, I still go through the fact of I wouldn't want to use it just out of respect to my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what that word means to her and what it meant to her and what she went through to have somebody not call her that. You know what I mean? But they need to understand, it doesn't necessarily mean the same to me. I don't have those same experiences. I don't have those same I don't have those same emotional scars from it. But I do respect my grandparents. Right. Yeah. So.
I just think it's our word, and if anybody's going to be able to use it, it should be us.
Well, that makes sense. If somebody's using it, if somebody's going to use it, it should be us. Now the question is, should it be used at all? That's the next question. I said, I guess the next question is, should it be used at all? You say, Ace, you say, yeah, it's okay.
But I mean, when you have movies coming out like Django and 14 Days a Slave or whatever.
12 Days a Slave. 14 Days a Slave. 12 Days a Slave.
It's kind of hard to make it go away.
Yeah, I mean, but they're telling a story too, and I wouldn't want them to tell a story any other way than how it happened. I don't want them to sugarcoat it.
I like Django. How many times do you have to make a movie about how black people were slaves. We already know that. Roots depicted that in perfection years ago. How many movies do you have to make about, niggas being called niggers?
Yeah. Well, I
I
mean,
think it's kind of regurgitating.
so do you think?
the same shit.
Let me ask you this: do you think it's? Do you think that's not an accident?
No, I don't think it's an accident.
Do you think it? I mean,
It's
but
not an accident.
that the fact that we keep having these type of movies, these slave movies,
Of course. I'll put it like this. Like he said, it's not an
like,
accident.
is it subliminal in some sense?
This is what it does. I love, those movies are not bad at all. They inform us about the past, but
Right.
we didn't start as slaves. We were kings and queens in West Africa. We had colleges. We had
Right.
universities. That
Right.
needs to be told now.
Right.
I
Right.
understand the slavery part. That's been embedded in our head.
Right.
Now we need to hear. They don't show the other side of that. They don't show that. Right. The other side of the Atlantic. And people were educated before they came to America and was called niggas and were slaves.
Right.
But they sure probably all these things about, black people being called niggas and being slaves and, and all of that stuff and having to come up through the struggle of America.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we started at. Like, okay, black people's history starts with chains. Nah, like we were Moors in Spain. We all in the world, like gold
Right.
chains. That's what it started with, gold chains.
Right. Right.
Slave chains.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you guys say that it's kind of like the intro of that "Fuck with Me, You Know I Got It" song. When is that Master P talking about that? Talking about
That's Pimp C.
Pimp C. Yeah, talking about that's where we come from, man. Like we don't come from shackles and chains. We come from gold chains and all that, man. Like they don't understand it. They try to label that as ignorant and shit like that. Yeah, that's real talk, man.
That's where they get most of the time from anyway. Like that's where that's where we come from is that.
Right.
But it's not always started from slavery. That hasn't been told, right.
Yeah, real talk. Well,
Outside of the state.
well,
Why don't Hollywood tell that story? Why does it always have to be, 14 days of slavery and shit
it's
like that?
12 days a slave.
100 years of slave. I mean, like how many times?
Or 12 years a slave. I think I said 12 days. It's 12 years a slave. But I feel you, man. But obviously, because I know this is a hot button topic, I knew it was going to go all the way. We're running out of time. But, just to let everybody know, man, this is I do the sports thing. We do it, and we're always going to come up here and talk about sports. But sometimes we need to have some real discussions and just talk about things, man. I don't think we talk about things enough, man. So I definitely wanted to get that on there. And, I appreciate you guys coming on, man, and giving some insight. I hope anybody that listened to this kind of saw a different view. That was my point of this, and I knew I got some good guys on here that would help out, man. So Notty G, AceBk, I appreciate it, fellas.
No
No doubt, man. So everybody, check it out. Tell a friend to check it out. KC's Corner. We out here, 100.
So I guess we just pray like the minister say. Alu Akbar and throwing some hot cars. The things we seen on the screen, it's not ours. But these niggas from the hood, so these dreams not far. Where I'm from, the dope boys is the rock stars. But they can't cop cars without seeing cop cars. I guess they want us all behind bars. I know it.